Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice summer evening. Very pleasant here in Pittsburgh. Downtown Pittsburgh must be getting heavy rain because there's a rain out so far in the Pirates game, but got nice sunshine up here. Okay, we'll get started. Before we get started, though, still getting a lot of questions on the private training session at Keuka Lake. We've got the date set up. Wow. I have to look at my... No. So anybody interested, you'll want to fly in or drive up on Saturday, August 6th. We start Sunday morning, do all day Sunday, all day Monday, and the first half of Tuesday, and you fly out Tuesday afternoon. We're going to try to get a second batch in, which would be coming in Tuesday afternoon, train all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and the first half of Friday, and fly out Friday evening. So anyways, if you need more details, email me, steve@candlestickforum.com with your phone number, and we'll be glad to get on the phone with you. Let me see. All right. Well, as we can see, the market did exactly what we kind of anticipated it would be doing. After it broke out through this downtrending channel, it basically came right back and used it as support. But this was the obvious. The obvious was they could not close below the T-line. Now we got the little J-hook pattern, which tells us the probabilities are that we're going higher. Whether it's in this direction or in this direction doesn't really matter, because the charts that are working well are going to continue to work well because of the pattern setups. And they'll work well as long as we don't see a dramatic change of investor sentiment, meaning a big vicious move or down move in the market. So as long as it's even if it's a slow uptrend, some of the patterns and the sectors that we're in are going to stay strong. And the sectors that are the strongest right now, oil obviously is still in an uptrend. This is crude oil on the July contract. And you can see how close it is now, pushing up to the $50 area, which is right here. So, and with stochastics coming back up, this tells us that even if crude oil just stays in a very slow uptrend, a lot of the oil stocks are going to start coming back, because they're going to, the ones that got thrown out with the bath water are going to be coming back to where they should be trading. Let's see, gold. Took that big pop on Friday. And what was I looking at? Index. Right now it's trading up a little bit after hours. So gold has still got the potential of doing another big up day, bringing you up to the top of this channel, which would be your doji sandwich type day, which means things like Nugget also at the breakout level with a potential doji sandwich to the upside. The dollar still getting beat up a little bit, popping up a little bit, but I would suspect it's still going to stay in this downtrend. And that's probably a function of whether the U.S. Feds increase interest rates or not. And what else is there? Oh, we didn't officially recommend coffee, but because of the chart the other day in the futures room, we did say you could be buying this one on positive trading because essentially notice you got indecisive trading down here, an inverted hammer, doji, a gap up. So you could be buying this one on strength because you can see the stochastics are coming up, number one. And this is where you kind of observe the obvious. Notice where the buying started. Whoops. You're pretty right here in this trend channel. And where do you think the next target is going to be? Well, you start watching for profit taking right at the top of this kind of wedge formation. So again, this isn't rocket science. This is just knowing the price will usually move to the next resistance level that everybody else is watching. Let me see. Go. Oh, we went long soybeans because, again, this was kind of, went long soybeans as it broke out through this level. I think 109.20 was our breakout. Right now, we've moved our stop up. I forgot where it was, but I think it's now up to the halfway point of this candle. Might have even been to the low over here. So as you can see, soybeans is in an uptrend. And let's think of what else we've been trading. Crude oil, gold. All right, so some of the stocks that are acting well, this is why you always want to take a look at the kicker signal, because that's your strongest uptrend. And CLF, just stay long on this until you see a sell signal. And because the patterns are, I guess what I was inferring is if we know the market is in a slow uptrend, not any big major reversal, the patterns that we know that can produce big profits, like our recommendation on Weibo with this fry pan bottom breakout, that's going to keep moving in that direction as long as there isn't any major change of investor sentiment. I'm just going through some of the ones that we recommended here recently. You can see that NBIX started this uptrend and continued this uptrend with a best friend signal. And notice what it's been using as a support level, basically the T-line. So if you can recognize the pattern and you can see when a strong buying signal comes in that pattern, just adds that much more credibility to the pattern itself. Boot, doing our bobble. I still wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading because that's, again, this is wave one. Wave three should bring you up in about probably into this range. KMPH, you can see all the dojis down here. And this is just a very simple concept that you see a lot of indecision, which is equated by or illustrated by dojis, that when they break out, they've made their decision. Notice the methods rising pattern here, telling you there's more upside. So if the first target should be coming up here to see if the gap area is going to act as resistance. If it doesn't, you got a lot of running room up here. First target, second target, which would equate to the 200-day moving average. So I say that could be your targets. That gives you if there was a lot of resistance right here, this may not be a great chart just because it doesn't have that much upside potential. But if you can see a reversal and huge upside potential, I'd rather be going after something like that even if it fails at 14%, I'll take 14% on my trade. I'm hoping to get 100% off of that trade. Oops, I started trading. The biotechs have been in this mode for a while. This is as clean a chart as you can expect, where they gapped up through the 50, pulled right back to the 50, did our morning star signal, then our doji sandwich. So there was our morning or our McMuffin. And when was it time to sell? When we saw a sell signal and a close below the T-line, which we haven't had. What it's basically told us is the 200-day moving average is not going to be acting as resistance, which means this uptrend is still in progress. So these biotechs, when they're doing the obvious signals right on major support levels, and we remember we went after ACAD because of the scoop pattern potential. Well, there's the scoop pattern potential. We were buying the February, the June 34s at 220 down in this area with the expectation we could have a nice slingshot effect to the upside. I think today they closed at $6.60 to $7, so it's already tripled in price. Sargent, Morningstar signal, kind of your doji sandwich, your McMuffin. Little bit of hesitation here at the 50. Where's your next target? The 200. These are just nice, clear road maps, and they're good and clear right now because the market is not showing us any weakness. So the strong charts are going to continue to act strong. Here's INO, the gap up, the best friend, Morningstar signal, still in an uptrend as long as it stays above the T-line. Now, the T-line crunch doesn't necessarily have to be heading for a moving average. If you can see there's a resistance level, and you've got this T-line crunch going, you're just watching to see what they do once they get to that resistance level. If they break out, you got wave 3 in progress. CEQP. There was that fry pan bottom. Where did it break out? Right here at the 200. How long do you hold on to this? As long as you don't see a sell signal and a close below the T-line. We recommended T2, the big belt hold. Now you got that little J-hook pattern setting up. If you didn't buy it today, you can still buy it if it comes up through today's high, because that tells you the J-hook pattern is breaking out into new territory. Hang on to your individual stock questions. When we get done with all the ones that we're looking at, I'll tell Jim to do the double line, then type in either one or two requests. As far as the biggies, Amazon, nothing wrong here, still moving up, and we can see what pattern's setting up right now in Apple. We wouldn't have been trading Apple here for the last few days because we didn't know which way it was going. Now we can see what type of pattern is setting up. That J-hook pattern. So if they start trading this one positive, where do you think your first target is? Right here. Where do you think the second target is? Fill in this gap and then this area, because if wave 1 and wave 3 are the same, the 200-day moving average is your next likely target. Netflix, same scenario. Notice where it backed off to. You got a bullish harami right smack dab on the T-line. Get ready for a J-hook pattern on this one. Tesla, nothing here yet. Can't really see anything until it gets up above the 200. And this is why you want to know what your pattern setups are. Notice that we had a very good move in LRCX ever since this best friend gap up. Then we started seeing some indecisive trading, a doji at the low end of the previous day's trading, and then more bearish. Where do you think it was heading back to? Back to the T-line. So you've got two opportunities here. One, if you were trading the calls, you knew you were going to lose time if it was coming back to do a J-hook pattern. So this would have been a good area to start taking profits. You can always buy back. Now, you might not buy back the Junes because over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it may be right back where it started from. But if you have a J-hook pattern, now you look at the next. Why does Steve's mic keep cutting on and off? Is that happening to everybody? Stephen B., you might have to log off and log back on to get a better connection. Okay, a couple more that we recommended. ZAG was a good chart yesterday or on Friday. And notice where it pulled back to, right back to the T-line. So this makes our analysis very simple. If this was the reason we were buying, because of all the little indecisive trading and then kind of a gap up, it better open positive and trade positive. If it opens lower, telling us they don't have any bullish steam, you want to close out the position. Again, this is kind of signaling when to be out of trades. And CNX, the left-right combo, right smack dab off the 50, up through the T-line, then breaking this downward trend channel. Even though it did some backing and filling today, you stay long as it stays above the T-line. So with crude oil, again, holding up well, that's what's made, we recommended ERF today because of the gap up through the resistance level on Friday. Positive open today would have told us we had a doji sandwich breakout continuing. That's why we went after that one. Lots of good-looking oil charts right now. UNT broke out through this resistance level. Should have some more upside to it. CWEI. Oh, pshaw. CWEI. Nice J-hook pattern. Another one that I wouldn't be afraid to be buying, because if you take your trajectory, this one goes up right past the 200. So your first target obviously is the 200. If it breaks through and then breaks through this level, you got a very strong non-resistant area to trade into. For the longer term hold, here's BP Royalty Trust. Nice fry pan bottom starting to come back up. And I think it still pays about an 8 or 9% dividend yield. This is the one we did a call spread on, Whiting. Broke through this level today on a doji sandwich. We were buying the June 1350s and selling the 15s for 45 cents. Because over the next 9 trading days, if it trades up above 15, that 45 cents now would go to $1.50, or a little bit more than triple. Are crude stocks in tune with the market? They're probably moving on their own at this point. So the afternoon newsletter was kind of inferring that all boats are going to rise in a rising tide. What we're looking for are the boats that are going to rise a heck of a lot faster in the rising tide. So the crude oil stocks have been acting well, setting up very nice patterns. Here's a left-right combo doji sandwich breakout on Bill Barrett Corporation. So what we're looking for is not something that's going to move up with the market moving up. We're looking for things that are going to move exponentially to the upside. And that's where we're seeing a lot of strength right now coming into those oil stocks. So this is one of the advantages that I've always kind of utilized is when the markets are heading up, there's going to be sectors that are going to head up a lot faster than other sectors. We're able to pinpoint those. So when you can see this many strong charts in one sector, like the oil sector, that means there's a lot of money coming back into that sector. that's the sector you want to be in. Or at least if you've got 10 positions on, you might want to have 3 of those in, or 3 or 4 of those positions in the oil area. A couple more in the oils. AOS, if this opens positive tomorrow, you want to be buying immediately because your bobble pattern will be in effect. And we recommended BVN. It faded today, but you put a buy stop at today's open. Because if it comes up through there, that tells us this breakout is still in progress. Where's it heading to? Probably up into this trajectory. You could go 45 minutes from there, or 45 degree from there. Some of the mining stocks. You can still be buying TCK. AU came back. A lot of the gold stocks. This one can be bought on positive trading tomorrow. SA, which also is sitting right here on this trend channel. If it opens positive, you can be buying immediately because it could have a good 30% move to the upside over the next short-term while anyways. This one I was looking at, if it opens positive tomorrow, make this a little bit smaller. What do you think our next target is? Here's our trajectory. What usually happens when there's a steady uptrend, any consolidation, when it breaks out, heads right back up to that trajectory. So this could have a good option trade to it, even in the Junes, that if it opens positive, doing a doji sandwich, you could have a big, fast, big move. Oh, Jamie, if it if it popped up real big in that first minute, it may have just been they opened it at one spot and then more stock. They opened the rest of it or traded the rest of it higher. I don't know what that is. I don't know who. What else are we looking at? Oh, GOF, another good-looking chart. There's your cradle pattern. Where's your next target? There's a gap right here. So I think they could bring it right back up to the 50-day moving average. ECR, doji sandwich breakout. Look for it to move up even further from here. We got a lot of fry pan bottoms that are working, like Owens, Illinois, doji sandwich breakout. Same scenario. Here's your trajectory. This could head right up there very quickly. WPZ, another fry pan bottom breaking out to the upside. SWNC. Also another fry pan bottom. Notice when they got to the breakout area, they're starting to gap this one up. Yeah, if I was going to trade Textron as a doji sandwich, yes, I'd just pick a June something or rather, probably 40, 41 or so, and see if it doesn't move pretty big during the day. And QEP, just stay long on this one. Another kind of fry pan bottom, broke out with a left-right combo. Some other good-looking charts. This is Huntsman. Same scenario. Look where it bounced. Buy signals right off the 50. Bullish engulfing. Gapped up. Whenever they gap up toward a resistance level, you got to kind of factor that if they can see there's a resistance level right here and they've gapped it up to get to that level, that means there's going to be a lot more upside after that. How many days of trading constitutes a fry pan bottom? Doesn't really matter. As long as you can see it's a big rounding bottom. Now, if it's a quicker one, that's what we call a slow curve, which is just kind of a short fry pan bottom. BTE, fry pan bottom, doji sandwich breakout, left-right combo. Expect this to come up into the trajectory. This one broke out big time, and notice how it broke out. So illustrating this more, but if you were watching this, this is where the big breakouts usually occur. When you see these patterns start setting up, what we're expecting is a big price move. Most of the time we expect a big price move like this, but it puts you in a situation where you have the opportunity to be sitting in one of these because essentially that pattern was telling you something was happening, something was building back up. You may not know why. It might be a contract, it might be a buyout, all sorts of things. All it's telling you is that somebody's accumulating it the way it should be. This is ARGS, another fry pan bottom breakout. Whose handwriting is this? BRS. That gap up tells you there's probably possibility they could be coming back up into this range. BTAE. There's your bobble. Very safe trade. If it opens positive and trades up through the 200, you want to be buying this one on the J-hook bobble breakout. Same scenario on Andro. You can see the little bobble pattern, and notice the bobble is very easy to identify. You run into resistance, there's profit taking, but they can't close it below the T-line and take it back up through the resistance a second time. Just kind of bobbled in here with the profit taking. Now you've got the J-hook pattern coming out the other side. And quote, you can see where this started back up, right off this morning star signal. How long do you hold this? As long as they don't close it below the T-line. Olin broke this little channel, and notice how they did that with a gap up. Now you've got the J-hook pattern telling you there's going to be more upside. Ooh, I think I've done most of them. The sectors seem to be the oils and the biotechs right now. So out of a 10-position portfolio, I might have 6 or 7 in those two sectors. Then the other 3 positions might be other stocks that are acting well. So again, the advantage of the visual graphics of candlesticks is it not only tells us where the strong charts are, it's usually indicating which sectors are acting the strongest, and those are the reason you're going to identify those is because you're going to see quite a few in that industry or that sector acting well. A T-line crunch usually just kind of keeps heading up toward the resistance where it may not have hit the resistance. So it's just T-line crunch. A bobble usually comes up and hits the resistance and pulls back to the T-line and heads back up again. Okay, and we're still short Carnival. Ever since the kicker signal gap down, we're staying short. And Tiffany, another one that get ready to go short again if it opens weaker. Just telling you they can't get this up above the T-line. Tiffany, I would be apt to go short. I haven't really looked at a whole lot of shorts, Jim, only because I think the market's heading up for a good while yet. But right now my short position basically is Carnival. Oh, we had another short position on. I can't remember what it is. Okay, I guess that's about all I got. Are there any general questions on candlesticks? Fibonacci retracements? Yes. Let's say we thought there was a Fibonacci retracement going on here. A lot of the charts have them already built in. So what you do is you take the highest point and you hit the lowest point. Now there's your 38% retracement. There's your 50% retracement. There's your 62% retracement. Does that mean they're going to get there? We don't know. But what we can see is if this is the 38% retracement and we come up here and do a little shooting star right at that level, that's pretty good. We can tell right away that's probably where it retraced to. Now if we were going short, we could go short from there. And the same thing on the bullish side is if you see an uptrend, you just put that retracement. I'm trying to get rid of it now. What am I doing? I use the 3-day exponential moving average, the 3T line. Oh, it's not on this chart. It's on the other charts. When you start moving too far, too fast away from the T line, then the 3T line starts coming into play. Oh, I don't know. It probably doesn't mean anything. Oops, that's 60 minutes. All that really means is I don't see where it was. Still don't see where it was. Best way to use call spreads on long positions. Best way to use call debit spreads on long positions. I don't see the shooting star. Okay. Best way to use call debit spreads on long positions. Is that a question? If I am doing a spread, as you can see, we're 2 weeks away now, or within 2 weeks away from expiration of the June, which I'll do the spreads now. The reason you don't want to do spreads too early is very simple. Let me find something. Let's just say, for example, back here we started doing spreads, but there was 3 or 4 weeks before expiration. So if we bought one and sold the higher one, and the price started moving real strong, your spread would go upside down on you because as it was moving higher, the one that you sold, which was the higher price one, is probably moving up faster percentage-wise because now it's closer to being in the money where the lower price one is out of the money, so it doesn't move as fast. So you might be sitting, even though everything's moving in the right direction, your trade might be going negative on you because the one you sold is moving up faster than the one you bought. So I usually keep the spreads, the debit spreads, about 2 to 3 weeks, no longer than 2 or 3 weeks out in front of expiration. And then I don't do credit spreads until the final week because they aren't very profitable trades, but they're extremely high probability trades. And because they're not as profitable, you don't want to be in a situation where you're too far out in front where the price moves against you. So, or the probabilities of the price moving against you is that much greater. You're basically trying to analyze what's happening in that final week to see whether it's going to get back down through the positions that you put on. How many days out do you buy options? If it's further than 3 weeks out, I'm usually just buying the calls or the puts. Less than 3 weeks, starting on the spreads. Joe, that's why you don't listen to the old adages like sell in May and go away. Or V-Build or ARGS type stocks. Can we create a scan condition? Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know whether... you can't really... Well, you can... yeah, it's hard to develop a scan, but there are alerts out there that... I don't know if you can set up an alert if a stock is moving greater than X percent during the day. We'd have to get Ed C back in here. Mario, sometimes when they spike like that, it may be just a bad trade because a lot of it's done electronically. If somebody types in something wrong and does a trade where it may have traded at 100, but they inadvertently put 101, it'll show up for a little bit. If somebody did do, if somebody was buying a big position or selling a big position, they may cross the stock at a certain price, and so they don't have to wait trying to fill it. They just do it at one price. Would you go into next month for calls instead of a spread? Yeah, if I was looking to buy something straight out call, I'd be going after the Julys at this point. Now, depending on what the chart pattern is, there's still some I'd be buying the calls on. But I'd be trading them on a very tight leash that they need to move right away. Yes, it is too late to call for buying the calls on AC. This is where you don't want to be chasing stocks. This is why we want to be analyzing where the reversals are occurring, not when the trend is probably at the other end where we're now probably in the range to start looking for some profit taking here pretty soon. So the reason we show a chart like this is to show the result. This is what you should be concentrating on. When I see something like this is the expected result. So this is the type of things that you want to be looking for, is kind of these little double bottoms, the inverted hammer above the T line, scoop type pattern. This is what you want to look for. Yeah, whiting, if you're not going after the Junes, just start going after the Julys. Now, as we've shown before, To do the spread at 45 cents for the stock to move to this level, to triple your money, more than triple your money, it's triple your money. If you buy the calls outright, and I don't know what they were going for. Wouldn't be too different. But let's say right now the calls for the 14s are, I want to just pick out a figure, like 90 cents. Well, to triple your money, it's got to go up $2.70. Means it's got to go up to this level to triple your money, whereas the spread only has to go up to this level. Kim, I don't know whether I can get the Canadian stocks on this chart. About $60. I don't know about $60 what. Okay. Calls BTG. The gold. Yeah, obviously it's in an uptrend right now, right? At this point, you just use the T-line as your stop. At this point, you also watch to see if it can break through this level until you're in wave 3. Oh, my knee's bad. All right, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. And in 4.1 seconds, do the double line again. All right. BIOS, you stay long. This broke out nicely today. Yeah, I just stay long at this point. B's on. Oops. That's a nice little kind of J-hook bobble pattern. You stay long on this one. I would use today's open as my stop. Marathon, this one you can be buying. That's a good looking pattern. Looks pretty much like whiting. SWN, same scenario. Fry pan bottom, you stay long, broke out right about in this area. You've got that doji sandwich breakout. CPA, now you can see what's happened. You had your left-right combo in an oversold condition and a doji sandwich, and you can see it's not going down. You cover your short position. Should have covered your short position today with the close above the T-line. Because now you've got that bullish engulfing doji sandwich in the oversold area. That's showing strength. Yes, if you're holding target for a short, it has to open lower tomorrow to stay in the short position. If it opens positive, close out the short position. OPTT today told you the profit taking is over. If it opens positive tomorrow, I'd be a buyer, and then just use today's open as your stop. Soda, stay long. Pick a spot that you shouldn't trade back through. I'd probably use the open of the previous day. If it came down through there, the profit taking had started. Crocs, you can see it's stuck here. If I was long, it better open positive tomorrow. If it opens lower, it's telling me I'm still stuck in this range. I'd close out the position and then just wait for it to come up through the 200-day moving average. United Technology, another one that if you're long, has to get up through the 50 very quickly. Merck, stay long. Observe the obvious, though, which is you're right about this level. You want to see it get through that level. Nugget, we're trading this one. we're right at the breakout level. So definitely want to see this open positive tomorrow. If it does, you've got the potential of a doji sandwich. Your best friend, doji sandwich breakout, that would start putting you into wave 3. McDermott can stay long on this one. Schlumberger. This one you can be buying. It's just not a very exciting trend to it. Let me make it smaller. You can stay long on this one. It just doesn't have a great trend to it. NVDA. You started seeing sell signals. Where do you think it was going to move back to? Right back to the T line. Is it going to hold there? We don't know yet. If I was long, I'd stay long, but it better open positive tomorrow and start trading positive. STX, just stay long. Boeing. Boeing's not a great chart. If you like it right now, it has to get up through the 200, but otherwise, it's pretty junky. This Six Flags, nothing there. If you're short, you stay short. CNX, you stay long as it stays above the T line. And ROP, another one that's not a very exciting chart. You can see you're in a downtrend. If you like it, I mean, it's just a very congestive chart. If you're trading it, it has to stay above the T line. It's just junky. Delphi, another one I wouldn't be long or short. No direction to it. Blue, oops, I didn't get there. Blue, you can stay long. So here's where you observe the obvious. Notice on Friday it pulled back. But also notice it didn't do a sell signal. This was just a down day and an uptrend. Right now you just stay long on this as long as there's no sell signal and close below the T line. Kara, still having a hard time getting started. You can stay long, but if it started trading lower, you can see you're running out of steam here at the 50. It definitely needs to open positive and start trading positive from here. Caterpillar, you can stay long on this one. Not a big percentage mover, but right now it's moving in the right direction. Potash, nice little breakout of the bobble. I'd look for it to go to the 200-day moving average. And Moss, same scenario. Nice buy signals. Look for it to go to the 200-day moving average. And AGU, nice breakout of the bobble. You just stay long on this one. Harley, whoops. Harley, not a good chart. Matter of fact, if it came back down through today's open, I'd be shorting it because it's telling you that this downtrending channel is still in progress. We recommended ERF today. You stay long on this one. AMD, a hockey stick hookup. Yeah, nice little Morningstar J-hook pattern. Speaking of hockey, I think the Pens play tonight. Palo Alto looked like a bearish kicker on 527, but it went up. Any thoughts? Yes. Had a big gap down kicker, but never confirmed. And when it didn't confirm, and then started seeing buying, what was the next indication? That this level right here was telling you that it was acting as support, that it wasn't moving down. So if you shorted it, you definitely should have been out of it when it came back up through the doji, because that told you the buying was there at the support level. Then you could always re-short it if it came back down through the open. ABX, another one that you can get ready to buy if it comes up through today's high, because that tells you your best friend that they're still trying to push to break out through this level to get back up into this trajectory. Silver, starting back up. You can be buying this one. Wheat broke out nicely. Didn't catch this because it wasn't really a strong buy signal. We were trading more the soybeans because it broke out very nicely. So we're staying long on this one right now. And corn is a nice steady uptrend. You stay long. At this point, you have your stop at today's opening. You're in the overbought area. It gapped up a little bit, so that gives you a little bit of a warning to start setting your stops. CORB has just never gotten started. If I was going to buy this now, it'd probably be up here somewhere telling me they've started breaking it to the upside again. But right now, I wouldn't be long or short. There's no direction. NOV, another big move. Get ready for a 45 degree to come off of here. Abercrombie stays short. Ever since the kicker signal, there's been no buying. And CCJ, bullish engulfing, double bottom, doji sandwich, stay long. EXAS, nice fry pan bottom. You can be buying this one on positive trading with the anticipation that it's coming up into the trajectory, which is the 200-day moving average. NEO, you just stay long as it stays above the T line. DAG, that's a good index ETN. That's the double long. All right, it broke through this level, you stay long. Trox, another one where it needs to open positive. If it opens weaker, you're going to be in the little bobble for the next few days. SRPT, right now you stay short, but I would use the high of right here as a stop. If it starts moving up, that told you they are supporting in this level. To stay short, you want to see some weakness from here. Yard, ooh, for some reason this one doesn't come up well on here. So I don't know what to tell you on that one. Twitter needs to get up through the 50. You can see the fry pan bottom and a lot of indecisiveness. I'd rather pay $16 for it knowing that it got up through the 50-day moving average, breaking out the fry pan bottom. XONE, you stay long on this one. Nimble, also stay long, but it has to stay up above the T line. U.S. Steel, nice doji sandwich off the T line. Just watch to see what it does once it gets to the 50, because by that time, you're going to start running out of your steam as far as your stochastics are concerned. And NBIX, nice fry pan bottom, best friend. Stay long on this one. The 20-year notes, oh, gap down. You're still caught in the sideways channel. Right now, going to come back and test the T line. SNCR, nothing. just sideways. You still have a wedge. Now, you can see at the end of this wedge, you've got a doji, which usually alerts you to the fact that if they gap it one way or the other, that's where they're going to take it pretty strong. So that doji, which represents indecision, at the end of that flat trading, if they gap it one way or the other, that tells you they've made their decision with a lot of strength. Another kind of bobble that still needs to get up above the highs, telling you that they had gotten up above the 200. Right now, it's just not a very exciting chart. It needs something to tell you there's more energy one way or the other. 5 below, stay long. At this point with a hanging man, doji, I would use today's low as a stop. It shouldn't come back down through there. CBAY, stay short. Yeah, you can't even stay short. It's $2 stock. You shouldn't be in this one. AMED. Whoops, AMED. Get ready to buy this one. Fry pan bottom. Another fry pan bottom. Notice a little belt hold type signal that bounced off the 200. I'd be a buyer of this one on strength. Fry pan bottom breakout. MUX. I'd be a buyer of this one. Just make sure your volume's good on this one. LTXB. Just stay long as it stays above the T-line. Notice where the fry pan bottom breakout occurred. An inverted hammer gap up through the 200. All you can do right now is stay long as it stays above the T-line. And RRTS, nothing real exciting yet. Make this big enough. If you like it, you can be buying. I'd rather pay $8.50 for it, knowing that it broke out to the upside, making your next target up here, fill in the gap. Ross Stores, yeah, stay short. Bearish J-hook pattern. And get ready to buy DICOM on positive trading. See how they're pushing against this upward, dang that thing, upward resistance level. You did Caterpillar, you stay long on Caterpillar. Let's see, XENT. Another one where you stay long. You can see the doji sandwich. I would suspect heading for the 50. Carnival, you stay short, especially if it opens lower tomorrow. ARGS, you can be buying this one on any positive trading tomorrow. Nice breakout today. SCLN, this one has to open positive tomorrow, but as long as it stays above the T-line, you're all right. Just doing some backing and filling right now. PCRX, you can be buying this one on positive trading with the 50 being the next target. It was pretty close to 4.1 seconds. Yes. We time it with a stopwatch. SIG, stay short. You see a buy signal confirmed. SCCO, you can get ready to buy this one on positive trading. A little trend kicker in progress. Noble Drilling, you could be buying this one. Little kicker signal breaking out above the T-line. FNMA, whoops, never showed up, did it? Oh, this Fannie Mae, that may not be showing up anymore. Sonus, all you can do is stay long as this 45 degree stays above the T-line. Is that a symbol? VAIPX? Well, not showing up. FEYE. As long as there's a T-line crunch, as long as it stays above the T-line, you can stay long on this one. The wheat fund, yeah, they may have gapped up a little bit. So if you're long, just use today's open as your stop. And SGG sugar, I would put a sell stop at the halfway point of this candle. If it came down through there, you've got an evening star signal setting up, more than likely coming back to test the T-line. No, I think we did see LRB just moving sideways. I wouldn't be long or short. Oh yeah, the knee replacements, they aren't bad. It's just, I'm guessing a knee replacement pretty much is the last resort. But everybody's, and the only fear I have is I've got a buddy that did a knee replacement and it didn't work out. So they went in and did it again, and it didn't work out again, and he's been in constant pain ever since then. So mine is just arthritis where it's bone on bone. The options, yes, I bought, I forget what I bought. I think I bought like the 108s. I can't buy very many of them because they're expensive. And I'm still doing the Junes because if it's going to move right now. XL, stay long, but use today's open as your stop. HZNP, anticipate it hitting the 200. Watch to see what it does once it gets there. CETX, another gap up, stay long. Micron, that's kind of in the bobble. If it opens lower, you close out the position and wait to see what it does once it gets back to the T-line. You can always buy it if it comes up through the 200. Noble Industries, you stay long on this one. You can see how the J-hook pattern worked right here. EMES, notice how it hit the 200 and failed. Whoops, no it didn't. That's our green candle. Very simple. If it opens positive, you stay in it. If it opens lower, take your profits and wait for the bobble. Somewhat of a scoop. I would say it's more of a, yeah, scoop's usually a little bit sharper, but it's got the same setup. Monsanto, get ready to short this one on weakness. Close below the T-line. Oh, I don't know how to get to that one, Daniel. Oh, no, it's hard to say, MK. This week, commodities are rising. Next week, they could all be crashing. So, no. For some reason, I'm not getting Fannie Mae over here. Cool. Nothing. Wouldn't be long or short. CZO. Nothing coming up on that one either. Not working. Oh, I don't know how to get the inflation fund over here. Let's try this. No. Visa, you can stay long in this one. It's just not a very exciting mover. And MasterCard, same scenario. I wouldn't be long or short this one. Just not enough movement to it. All right, last one, IMGN. Wouldn't be long or short this one either, no direction. Bristol, you can be buying this one on positive trading, Doji Sandwich Breakout. Another one that if it opens positive tomorrow, Doji Sandwich Breakout after your best friend breaking through this level should have a lot more upside. Okay, we'll call it a night. Again, anybody have questions about the lake? A big question is everybody asks, what should we bring? All you have to bring is your flip-flops, your bathing suit, and if you want to do some trades while you're there, bring your laptop. We feed you, got good clean rooms, and splash around in the water, and you get 2.5 solid days of looking at all the candlestick information put into a nice chronological order where it makes a whole lot of sense. And because there's only 4 or 5 of us there, you spend, if you've got a problem where you have a hard time pulling the trigger or you get into a trade too early, you get out of a trade too early, we can work on the logic of each of the candlestick chart patterns to tell you what to do. Do you scan for your stocks or do you watch lists you use? Yes, I redo the scans every night. I wear my Crocs, and I got smart. I went over to, I think it's Kohl's, and I bought about 6 pairs of Crocs, all exactly the same. So anytime I look for my Crocs, they're somewhere in the house. I don't have to go hunting for them. Daniel, yes, they'll candlesticks work on everything. Oh, scan's very easy. I don't know. I don't have it over here, but all you really have to do by first scan each day is scanning to see which stocks have had the biggest percent price move, either up or down, depending on which way the market's going. And usually in the first 5, 10, 15 charts, you're going to come up with the best ones where the reversal signal has occurred. But we can do a scanning session again here in the next week or so on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I have to find out which nights are free. All right, everybody, have a good evening. Watch the Penguins. We'll see everybody bright and early in the morning. We'll see you then.